Hello and welcome to episode 184 of Controller Club, the friendly face gaming space, a podcast where three friends from three continents share in one love, and that is video games. On today's show, it is the end of the year, so we're going to hand out some hardware in our annual Game of the Year celebrations. But first, my name is Kleinfeld, and alongside me today are two of my best friends in the whole wide gaming world. First, coming to us from across the pond, it is the digital art daredevil himself, Tom Drew. Tom, happy holidays. How you doing?
Happy holidays indeed. Yeah, I'm doing good. It feels crazy that another year has just come and gone like this. And it's nice to be able to, look back at what this year's brought. Because I was like working my way through all these awards and kind of questions we've been asking that we're going to go through on this episode. And I was like, it's been pretty good year in terms of gaming. So I'm excited to just get into it.
Next up, it is journalist extraordinaire, the Australian abroad / the Canadian in training, Lauren Rouse. Lauren, how are you doing? And happy holidays.
Happy holidays, gang. It is good to be here. This is one of my favorite episodes that we do each year. And what a great year for gaming. I think it's going to be a really great conversation and a difficult one when we hand out these awards today.
Yeah, coming into this exercise, writing everything down, I really had to start thinking, man, is this really, am I gonna put this game in here? Oh, what about this one? And I have all the games I played this year written down. I'm just like, man, I really want to honor this here. And it's funny because I think when we did a conversation maybe in June or July, we were all kind of like, it's been kind of thin. There's not really a lot to play this year. There were a couple things here and there. Assassin's Creed had come out. Clair Obscur had obviously come out. The Nintendo Switch, I think, either had just been released or was very soon to release. But then we got August, September, October, November, December, boom, 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 all bangers. It seemed like every week we were getting a generational 10 out of 10 game. And so it makes exercises like this quite hard. But I don't know if you guys agree with me that this kind of first half of the year was like, huh, what's coming? And then we got the second half. It's like, oh, that was coming. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Like, especially because, yeah, well, we had the Nintendo Switch 2. We knew that was coming. But even then, like, at the start of the year, we had, like, no idea what was going to be on the console. And then we just got a deluge of, like, all these releases. Like, Metroid Prime 4 came out. Like, the like, white whale for so many people. So, yeah, really snuck up on me and I'm sure all of you guys because, like, there's so many games that I'm going to talk about, but like I just haven't been able to get through them because there's just been so much to get through this back half.
Lauren, what will you remember about 2025 in the world of gaming? Remember back in January where it was every week, even before that, heading into 2025, it was like, Switch 2s. It's gonna be this week. It's gonna happen. Everybody, we got to be ready to drop everything and live stream. It's gonna, and then it wouldn't, and then it finally did, and that was kind of like the big headline of the early year. And then we obviously move into March and April, and Assassin's Creed. And then we get into the summertime, and yeah, it's been a busy one.
Yeah, it was like as if, five of Jeff's One More Things all happened at once. Like, yeah, having a new console, all these like games that people have been waiting kind of generations for, to the point that it's like the quality bar was so high that it was just like we were swimming in it. So it's like, some games may not make the list today, but it's not because they were bad. It's just because everything was so good.
Yeah, there were some definite tough cuts, but I think we should get into it because there is plenty of hardware to be doing. We will not be doing any news today. This is the end of the year, and we won't be doing what we've been playing at the end. This is just our Game of the Year celebration. So we start with the award that we always start with, a fun one that has nothing to do with the games that we played, really, but rather the games that we talked about. Our favorite podcast episode of 2025, your favorite Controller Club of 2025. Tom, do you want to get us started?
Yeah, this is the give ourselves a pat on the back award, basically, where we glaze
Because
ourselves.
we don't do that enough, okay?
Exactly. Yeah. Come on, give us a chance. Yeah, this one was tough because I think we've had some really good topics this past year, just like really fun discussion things. I think the one I want to give it to though, is Control Club episode 141, which is pitching our dream characters for a PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale sequel.
That
And
was fun.
I think it's just always fun to talk about like hypotheticals, like especially like I mean, maybe we'll do one for like the next Smash Brothers games. We probably have done that to be fair at some point. But this one was really fun because there's so many different just ways you can go. And like, we don't know if a PlayStation All Stars 2 is coming. Maybe Sony's seen that video and they're like, okay, maybe they're onto something. But it was just a lot of fun. And honestly, like the response from it was decent, considering like it's a pretty niche thing to be talking about. So that was nice to see too. And yeah, just a cool one.
I just typed Controller Club 141 into Google, and it's so weird. I've never seen this before with any of our stuff. It has an overview, like an AI overview of the podcast.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Ew.
yeah. In this episode,
Get away
hosts
from us.
Kleinfeld, Tom Drew, and Lauren Rouse discuss their reactions to a state of play and the characters they would want in a sequel to PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
That's weird.
That's
so
freaky.
Cool. That's indeed what we talked about.
weird. God.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's always fun. We get to put on the hypothetical hats, which is something we do quite a bit here on the podcast. But especially when it's focused on like a specific game like that, whether it be that or we did a similar thing with Marvel Tokon. You guys did Animal Crossing earlier this year, Doom, all sorts of fun stuff like that. Lauren, what about you? Is this one of your favorites? And if not, what is your favorite?
When I was looking at it back, it was definitely one that stood out among the list. Before I get to mine, I did go and have a look just to see what our actual top episode of the year was. So I don't know if maybe we can circle back to that once we hear yours, Klein,
Sure.
and see if any of our picks was actually the one that was
probably not
statistically the most.
I think all of our picks are ones for us, and then the ones that actually performed that's the ones for you guys listening at home.
Yeah. Well, anyway, mine was it was episode 169, which was our PAX recap. I think it was really fun. Firstly, Tom and Klein were in the same room, so that was kind of fun. And it was just really fun to like relive that week at PAX and talk about all the cool, fun games that we actually got to play instead of sort of just reacting to things or looking at things or speculating. We actually got to get hands-on with these things and kind of do like mini impressions of all of them. So that was really fun for me.
Yeah, I think PAX Storytime is my favorite episode of the year as well. Like looking back, I was looking at all the fun stuff that we did. I really liked our like switch to announcement episode that we did. There was an episode, Tom, you and I did, which was something this year that we ventured into just a little bit that I think I want to do more of as we move forward, is like not necessarily doing a full deep dive of a game, but if a big game comes out that like we have, I guess, 48, 72 hours, then we record, and it's just like a first impressions. You and I did a Donkey Kong Bonanza first impressions episode, Tom.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was a lot of fun because it was just like, it was hot off the presses. We put it out there and everyone else is enjoying it. And we're just kind of like, this is how we feel about our first few hours. But I think, yeah, the best games we played at PAX 2025, episode 141, not the best audio quality wise podcast of the year, because Tom and I trying to figure out that mic setup in the same room was a bit rough, but definitely some of the best content that we put out in 2025.
Yeah, me trying to like figure out how your headphones worked, and I was like,
oh my god,
weird.
I had the same problem when I was there.
But no, that was so fun. Like, especially because, like you guys are saying, like it's just fun to be able to like play so many games and then just talk about how much like fun we had playing them, and like hopefully giving people an insight into like, this is a game you should keep your eye on, and this game is like coming out soon and you should check it out. So it's really fun to just like, especially because like most of them that we talked about were indies, so it's just nice to shine like a spotlight on a lot of these indie developers that were like showing their games, like pouring their hearts out and like trying to get as much like, you know, spotlight on them as possible.
I bet it won't be the last time we talk about PAX today. I'll just
Yeah,
I'll leave that.
probably.
I'll leave that there.
So yeah, just to point out, like as promised, our most listened to episode according to the Spotify statistics was actually episode 172, which was our Hades 2 first impressions and a reactions to a state of play, which I think was the Wolverine one. So there was a lot to talk about that week.
Damn,
yeah, definitely. When we get those state of play reactions, Nintendo Direct reactions, those episodes seem to bump up as well. Also, when we have specifically Brian Shea on the show, the listens start to bump up. So Brian, if you're listening, I know you probably are. Come on back. Get in the DMs. We'll have you back on in the new year. We need you. You are crucial to our success. Next up is the biggest gaming news story or headline of the year. I would like to start things off if that's okay. I'm giving this to our little friend, he's sitting in the drawer over my, I guess, left shoulder, the Nintendo Switch 2. This was the year. We got a console launch this year, guys. That was a very big deal. It was our first major console launch of the podcast. And so, yeah, my gaming news story is just the Nintendo Switch 2 overall, whether it be the hype leading into it, that Nintendo Direct that we all sat down and watched at 6 a.m. Pacific time for me and Lauren that really early morning, where I squealed when they announced GameCube games. And then the thing actually coming out, Tom and I getting it in our houses, playing around with it. And obviously we've had now the last 6 months to enjoy it. So for me, it's definitely the Nintendo Switch 2. 2025 will be the year of Nintendo Switch 2 for me for a very long time.
Like, and this was exciting because like this is the first console that I had bought at launch for a very long while, and to have that build up of hype and then getting the hands-on thing and be able to like talk about it with everyone who also got it at the same time was just so fun. And like the game lineup has been great, and that's like continued like through to the end of the year, and it seems to be continuing like into next year. So like it's just been like a really exciting thing to be following the whole time, whether it's the speculation, actually getting to play it, and what have you.
Lauren, have you been enjoying the Switch 2 talk, watching from afar, watching me and Tom freak out over this like device that you still do not have, but I'm sure as time goes on, maybe one will sneak into your house somehow.
Yeah, I think it was I really took this launch as like I was a consumer who needed to be swayed. Like I wasn't an all in immediately like I probably will be with like the PS6. So yeah, it was just interesting to see the tactics, like to pay more attention to it. Also, this is probably like the first console launch I've had since working in media. I think maybe the PS5 was like right on the verge of me starting, or at least to cover games. And so that was really fun. It was fun to cover a console launch as a podcast. Like that was my gaming news story as well. I think it is pretty much the biggest news story of the year. Although I have a special mention, which was the statue in the desert, because that I thought it was really
Love that
fun.
statue in the desert. What is? We still don't know. What is it? They say it's divinity, but they could pull that away from us.
They could change it. Could be Donkey Kong Bonanza too.
Tom, what was your gaming news story of the year?
Yeah, I did think about the Switch too, but I think I want to give it to. It might not be the biggest news story of the year, but it was one of the biggest news stories of the year, gaming wise. I'm gonna giving it to our little bug, Silk Song, and the fact that it not shadow dropped, but it announced its release date, which was 2 weeks out from the trailer dropping. And I think just like everything around that, because it was like we heard about this, and then like PAX was coming up, so we were like, oh god, Silk Song's gonna be playable there, but then like the game's gonna come out anyway, so it's like, is there gonna be like any reason to play it? Obviously you guys played it early at PAX, but it was just such a cool rollout, and it like obviously also led to a bunch of indies being like, oh god, we gotta like move out of the way of this thing. But it was just a crazy way to just drop that news, and then actually getting to play the game so soon after that release date had been announced was just like, it was just so cool after such a long build up from that original game. So I just think that was a really special thing. When there's like a pseudo shadow drop like that, I always respect it and love it. So yeah, I'll give it to that.
Especially after how long it had been since they announced it, and we just hadn't heard anything for like weeks and months. And every Nintendo Switch 2 presentation we had this year, people were like, oh, this is it. They're going to show it, right? They showed it last time at a Switch event, and then nope, nothing. And for it to all of a sudden come and be as good as it was, if not better than like people had expected. I think people were hoping it got close to the heights of the original Hollow Knight, and now the general sentiment seems to be it eclipsed that and surpassed that. And me, somebody who had tried the original Hollow Knight a few times, didn't really get into it, got caught up in the fever, took a deep dive, and went on to 100% that game. And I still haven't touched Silk Song because I'm like, is it really going to be as good as the original? Because I really, really enjoyed the original, and it was fun to experience that in real time. This like, especially you were here when it released, and to see you just like, I gotta play it now, and punching the couch and freaking out how difficult it was fun.
And also it continues to do that even now, like the announcement of the expansion. It's like, it's coming in January. Is it January or 2026?
It's just 2026 right now. They have the Switch 2 version of the OG coming in January.
Right. Okay. Still, but they're just like, I don't know if we're going to go through this again, where it's going to be another 7 years.
Yeah.
And actually, it's a third Hollow Knight game. Surprise. But
Maybe.
yeah, it was a year of Silk Song for sure.
100%. Next, we move to one of our only negative awards. It's the most disappointing game of the year. Maybe not the worst game, but the thing that really just made you go, oh, I wish this was better than it was. Lauren, what's your pick for the most disappointing game of 2025?
Well, I didn't really play many games that disappointed me this year. So I kind of had two. One was like a replay of an old game, which really was disappointing to me. One of our New Game Pluses this year was Okami, because they announced that a second one was coming out at the Game Awards and you guys had never played it and wanted to try it. And I was like, oh, I love this game from my childhood. It's my favorite. And then replaying it, it just hadn't aged well with me. Like I just didn't jive with it like I used to. So that was really disappointing that something like that that you used to love didn't really live up to your memory of it. And then in terms of new games, I'm not even sure this is fair because I just kind of started playing and never finished, but it was like Assassin's Creed Shadows. It just did not really hook me immediately, which meant that I just never went back to it. There was a lot of things going on around the time that it was released, which left me with very little time to play it, but I just haven't been compelled to go back.
Especially with Gosayote here. I think that's
Yeah.
like, I agree. I
Yeah.
didn't put Assassin's Creed Shadows, but I thought about it because I enjoyed it. I played Assassin's Creed Shadows for close to, I'm getting my PlayStation wrap up this year, close to like 25, 30 hours, and really, really enjoyed my time with it. But put it down one day and just like never went back. And I kept thinking, man, I need to get back to that. I need to get back to that. Why am I not getting back to that? I enjoyed that experience. And then I played Ghost of Yote and I was like, oh, this is so much more what I wanted out of this like world
Exactly.
and era. And so, yeah, I don't think I'll ever go back. I think that game will just remain unfinished. And that is a bit of a disappointment to me because for how many years, decades at this point, we've been asking, where's the Japanese set Assassin's Creed? And they finally gave it to us. It just happened to come out in a year where we got a better Japanese Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom, what's your most disappointing game of 2025?
I think I did think about like, do I give this to a game that I've only demoed, which is Kirby Air Riders? Not because it's a bad game, but more so because like I was just disappointed that I didn't drive with it like other people seem to have like done it online. But I have to give it to Pokemon Legends ZA. Like I got to the point last night um that I realized that like I'm just not gonna go back to it, I think. And I'm only like, I say only, like I'm 15 hours in and I feel like I've not really done that much, or really like I've just kind of run around in circles and done a lot of these missions that don't feel that compelling. And it sucks because like it's built around like a really fun battle system, but then everything around it is just like it's just not at that same level, which is just a complete shame. And I just like have yeah, I have no drive to go back to it, unfortunately, because I was like debating with like, oh, should I play more Pokemon to try and get through it, or should I play this other game that's really good? And I picked the other game that's really good. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna go back to Pokemon. Are you crazy? So it's a shame. As a like lifelong Pokemon fan, maybe they'll improve from here. But as it stands, I think yeah, ZA is bit of a stinker for me.
Lauren, where are you at on Pokemon ZA? I think we all like that it came out. We did one of those early episodes and we all were kind of like, oh, this is fun. I'm enjoying myself. But it kind of disappeared. I actually, Tom, completely forgot about that game until you just brought it up.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of those games that's like, yeah, I got it so that we could all talk about it. And then I was like, but this is firmly, I am going through the pecking order, and it's like Hades 2 comes first. So that's where I'm at. I'll get to it one day.
My most disappointing game of the year, and it pains me to say it, it's a game that I've probably played more than just about any game this year. It was my Hollow Knight Silksong. In 2025, we got Skate 4, and it's just called Skate. And man, do I wish it was Skate 4, because this free to play, it is fine, and it is filling that void for me. I'm enjoying the like world. I'm enjoying the act of going out and playing a skate game again, but turning it into a free to play online multiplayer thing where all you're doing is just like going to a spot, completing these fairly generic challenges. There's no real like character to the game at all. It feels very sanitized and not like skate culture at all. There's skate culture in it, but it feels like the kind of skate culture that a corporation would come up with rather than actually feeling like it's within that punk rock aura of the OG skate games or the Tony Hawk games. And it just bums me out. And I continue to play it because it is more skate and I'm not getting more of that anywhere else. And they continue to drop like actually pretty interesting content. They just did a big season 2 update, changing parts of the map and adding like underground stuff. And that's really cool. But man, it's not what I wanted it to be. And that is just, that hurts. That hurts a lot.
Yeah. It's a shame. Like I played a little bit of it, and yeah, I just felt as though it could be so much more. Like I had like fun with just like dicking around basically around this like map, but it just feels like there's so much like missed potential, especially because like you said, it has been so long since Skate 3. So for them to release it in this form and it just to be kind of lifeless. It's similar to like the city in Legends ZA. Like it just feels like this really, yeah, like you were saying, sanitized, like completely characterless, um, almost a wasteland of a city that like feels like it should be like brimming with stuff to do and full of life. But yeah, I'm sad that this wasn't, you know,
It
better
could
for
get
your
there. It
sake.
is
Like,
still early access
yeah,
technically. So who
true, I guess.
knows? Maybe we come back in a year or 2 years from now and it's like finally this is it. They've added in the story I've been looking for. They've added in all these different things. They've added in even the ability to skate with your friends outside of just like watching them do the same challenge that you're doing. Let me play like skate or horse or whatever where you do a trick and we do trick attack. Like that's not in there. There's no way to compete with your pals in an
Yeah,
online skate game. It is just this like, hey, we're going to go do the same generic spot challenge and we're going to try and do it. And you're going to maybe do some stuff to accumulate score. I'm going to accumulate some score. And then when we pass a thing, that's it. That just like, ugh, it irks me because it could have been a fully online skate could have been so great. We move on to our favorite gaming moment of 2025. The best / most memorable favorite moment you had while gaming this year. Tom, do you want to go first?
while gaming, I think it probably has to be PAX West. Like it just it has
My
to be. I
answer is
think
also PAX West. Is it a clean
yeah.
sweep? Is it all three of us?
Lauren.
It was on my list, but I'll go something different to
Okay.
be interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I just think like I was thinking like, oh, maybe some of the gaming contents. But I technically wasn't gaming at these concerts that I went to, but they were really cool. Like the Undertale concert, the PlayStation concert, the Death Stranding 2 one. Like Kojima was there, Jeff Keighley was there as well. So it's like that was sick. But like PAX West was just such a fun experience. I really just didn't want it to end. And it was like obviously as well because like you guys were there too. So we were just having like the best time. But specifically I'll shout out the Mix showcase that we got invited to as press and got to just chat to so many developers and try out their games. Like it was just such a fun and if I felt so like I don't know, like invited and felt like I was really part of something. Um I don't know, it's just a really special time. And I really want to push to try and go to more of these kind of like gaming events because it is so heartwarming to talk about or talk to these developers and hear their stories and also like play their games and see them actively like taking our feedback and seeing like, oh, what did you like about this game, what did you think about this, and like applying that to like, okay, we're going to take this away and like, you know, work this out as the game progresses in its development. So yeah, PAX was just such a fun time, such a fun time with you guys. Citizen Nerdle, so much fun in the hotel room.
Oh my god. I didn't put that on any of my awards.
Oh god. Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah. I think it was fun that we all got in the car and had to drive down. Like it felt like a pilgrimage. It felt like we were all like making this grand like religious pursuit to go and honor the holy altar that is PAX West. And it was a lot of fun. I love doing that kind of stuff with you guys specifically. Like hanging out with you guys is awesome because we do this every week and it's online. And at some points we're in 3 different places across the globe, but actually like being in a room and then getting to like take this show on the road essentially and go and make content for it and meet people and play games, especially in 2025, which I haven't really talked about it on the show too much, but like 2025 has been, quite frankly, a really shitty year for me. And it's just like, it has not been fun. And you guys have, the two of you, when I have needed it, have carried this thing and have been anchors for me. And I love you both dearly. But like getting to go do this was like a bright spot. It was this moment of like, like I've never felt more at home, even though this is like a very new experience. And we're all so tired because we've just been on a show floor all day. And then we went back to the hotel room and edited videos, exported things, did whatever we needed to, and then played Sin 2 Nerdle to the wee hours of the night. And then we woke up bright and early to go and get in line for Pragmata or whatever. But it just was like, it felt all worth it. It felt like being at Disneyland. It's like, yeah, everything hurts. And my eyes, like, I can't see straight. And I'm hungry. And I'm living off of these free Red Bulls that these ladies are handing to me on the street. But gosh damn, if I'm not having like the best time of my life right now. And so, yeah, PAX West, there was no question that it was going to come up here. All the food we ate, the dumplings. I think about those dumplings all the time. Oh man.
So good.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience. I'd never, like, we had PAX in Australia, but I'd never been. And I think being able to experience that for the first time with this podcast, like, it really showed me what I'd been missing. And, like, it obviously was the gaming highlight of my year. But I had some other things that went on. One, I did get the chance to play a game, sadly without you guys, but I did get to preview Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. That was just a really cool experience at New York Comic Con. Just being able to go to like talk to the devs who were like watching us play while we were playing, and like go to the Warner Brothers building in New York. Like all of that was very surreal for me. But that actually wasn't the biggest thing apart from PAX that happened to me. And this wasn't really a moment while gaming, so I'm kind of cheating. But I got to bring it up. I have been chasing the Last of Us cast like Infinity Stones my entire life. And this year I got Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson, and Laura Bailey all at the same time. Like that just doesn't happen. It was an insane thing to happen. And finally being able to not only meet Laura and Ashley, but then interview them 3 weeks later for something completely different, but actually getting to have a legitimate, like meaningful conversation with them. It's insane. It's like, I like skate by thinking about it because I was in work mode, but I look back and I was like, that's a crazy thing that happened to me as a fan.
It is wild to think that even like earlier this year, Lauren, you and I met Troy very briefly, and then you get to meet him again later. And like, we also at that same expo talked to Najee Jeter, who's the voice of Miles Morales and freaking Spider-Man. And like, that totally has like been blinked from my mind. And then every once in a while it pops back in there and it's like, oh yeah, like that's so cool. And they say like, don't meet your heroes or don't meet these people that you look up to, but it is so much fun doing what we do and getting to like interact with these people and realizing, oh, you're just a person, and we can have like a really like personal conversation, and I can tell you how much I like your work, and it's not going to be weird. Although I don't know, maybe you make it weird, Lauren. I don't know how you roll, but that's awesome that you've gotten to check off these like bucket list items all, it seems, at once in 2025.
Yeah, it was like sensory overload at New York Comic Con that weekend. But I think it is that thing of like you do get nervous on, well, what will these people be like? But they didn't disappoint, so that was very heartening.
We move on to a new award this year. I'm going to get Lauren to explain a little bit because she's the one who came up with it. The Up and Coming Award. Lauren, what are we doing here?
This was just kind of a category to cover games that we may be excited about or like see a lot of potential in, that isn't necessarily like our most anticipated game. It's just the one that we have a bit of a stake in seeing and hope that we're excited for, basically. Maybe we didn't know about it in previous years and we learned about it this year. So mainly this is so that we can talk about games from PAX, which I assumed is what everyone's going to pick. But I don't know, could be something else that, it's not like maybe your most hyped anticipated game. It doesn't have to be coming out next year. It's just something on your radar.
I will kick things off here because this is a game that we did play at PAX and I have continued to play since PAX. And I'm glad that you brought up doing this award because I genuinely thought about putting it on my runners up for Game of the Year. It's Rebounder, guys. Let's talk. We've talked about Rebounder how many times on this show since the first week of September? We're going to do it again. This is a new platformer from a super small dev team in Edmonton, Alberta, where you have this like bomb throwing mechanic and you're this little astronaut and you pick up these bombs and you throw them and then you detonate the bombs in the perfect time to do these crazy jumps and all these amazing platforming moves. It feels so incredibly smooth. We played it for the first time at the Mix when we were at PAX, and I stood there and was just like, how what am I playing right now? Like, how is this feel this good and isn't coming out tomorrow? And they were like, yeah, it's all still very early. The best part about, I think, that whole experience was the developers behind Tethergeist, another precision platformer, who we have an interview with them up over on our YouTube channel. They actually just emailed us to say happy holidays a couple weeks ago, and we're hoping to get them on the show sometime in the new year. But they came over and saw me playing this game, and they were like, how are they doing this? And like, they were, you could hear them whispering, like, what is this magic like concoction that is being put on the screen before us right now? It is easily my most anticipated indie game right now. I am so excited to see it. I still think it's like 2027, I think, is the date they had on it when we talked to them. If that, like, I would not be surprised if this is still a couple of years away, maybe even beyond that. But it's just like, it's magic. They sent me the build of the demo, so I have it here on my computer, and I every once in a while just dive in and play those first few levels. It's like, man, like, I am so excited to play the rest of this game.
Yeah, it's I'm glad you brought it up and you're continuing to like wave that flag because like if you hadn't brought it up, I definitely would have brought it up. It's so good. Like it's just playing it, like you're saying, it felt so polished considering how far out it is, and it just seems like they're just gonna like work on levels essentially. But yeah, the art style's so like unique and compelling and so pulpy and like comic booky, I guess. And then yeah, the mechanics that they constantly like throw at you as you move through these different rooms. It's like it just feels so constantly fresh and like of the levels we played, I can't see I can't wait to see like how they try to one up themselves as they bring more levels to this game closer to when they actually release it.
33
yeah.
games is the team working on that. I forgot the developer name. Go check them out. Follow them on all the socials. Wishlist the game. Do all the things you can to get this game in front of the right people, because it is something special. What's your answer, Tom? What's your up and coming game?
Yeah, my answer is actually a game that I played at PAX, but I didn't get a chance to talk about it on the PAX episode. So I'm glad I can now talk about it because like I just we talked through so many games that I was like I just didn't have time to talk about this one. But it's a game from Ice Goat Games, I believe is the name of the developer, and it's called Draco and the Seven Scales. It's
Oh, yeah.
basically like a throwback to old 2D Zeldas. You play as this like pirate guy and it's like it basically is like a 2D Zelda with this pirate aesthetic. You're going through dungeons, but they have this cool mechanic where you're doing that as this little pirate guy, but then you also have a pirate ship that you can go into. And that introduces its own set of mechanics where you have like cannons on sides of your ship, and that like allows you to do different puzzles where like one side of your ship fires like one type of cannonball and the other side shoots another type of cannonball. It's just really cool because they create puzzles where you specifically have to use your pirate ship to interact with the world, and then that influences what you can do as a pirate. And the final boss that I was playing the demo is just so cool because you're going into your ship, you're going on top of the giant kraken that you're fighting against on foot, with your like your what do you call your sailors, I guess, your crewmates, to attack him on the kraken's body, and then you're back in your ship, and it's like this really cool interplay. And not to mention like a really gorgeous art style. Like I said, it's so reverent of those old 2D Zelda games, and it's basically as if we're getting another one of those in. Well, I mean, I don't know what the release date is yet because they haven't really announced it, but in the modern kind of era. So definitely one I'm going to keep my eye on because it just felt so good to play and it looks incredible. So yeah, can't wait to see when that finally gets a release date and people get to play it.
I'd forgotten about this game, and so I just went and I wishlisted it on Steam. So it
Nice.
will at least like be there, and we'll get emails about it and things when it releases. Because yeah, this looked awesome. I was jealous that I didn't get to play this when we were there. Same with that Blocks for Babies that was next door. That was like What If
Oh
Tetris,
yeah, I
but
was
also Doom.
yeah, that looks awesome.
Lauren, what's your up and coming game?
Yeah, so many good ones. I think I am gonna give it to. This wasn't necessarily one that was I discovered at PAX, but I didn't get to play it at PAX. It is Tanuki Pond Summer, where you play as a little raccoon guy, a little tanuki, in this kind of Studio Ghibli sort of art style. At least that's what the cutscenes look like, or the cinematic looks like. And you're just a little guy. You're a mailman. You're delivering packages around the village and helping the villagers with their side quests. And I think what really did it for me was like, this looks cute and wholesome, but you ride a bike. And I just had like the biggest grin when this happened. But when you get on the bike, you get to do tricks. Like it's a full BMX game where you get points for doing different styles of tricks. The music switches into this hardcore rock music. It was just a delight. And I think I'm in a space where it's like I would like a kind of cozy anthropomorphic animal game. So this one has definitely got my attention.
This was one that you and Tom played, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to play a bit of it too, and like, yeah, I echo everything Lauren said. It was so much fun. The art style is so cute. This was like, it's the complete opposite of like Skate, where like Skate, I felt like it is this like very sanitized world that doesn't really feel that kind of fun to explore. But in this, it's like you're doing tricks around the city, and it's like it's really colorful, and they got all these really cool nooks and crannies and stuff, and it's just super like I don't know, just super charming, and like they had these also these like weird mini games that you're playing that you play as like a your Tanuki would do like sumo at one point. And there's like other mini games that they do that throughout the game, it seems. So yeah, definitely like a cute little one that I'm gonna keep checking back on because it looks really promising.
Next up is the not going to win a game of the year, but it deserves a shout out nonetheless. This is basically the game you loved this year that won't be winning any awards anywhere else. Lauren, do you want to take it away?
Yes, I do have a game that this is probably the only time I'll get to shout it out. And I haven't really seen anyone pick it up elsewhere, which is a shame. But it was Tiny Bookshop, which is a lovely little indie game about basically running a bookshop in this seaside town. And your job is to just sell as many books as possible by giving recommendations to like patrons that come in. And I never quite finished it because it was way longer than I thought it would be, which is great. And I know they're doing an update where you have like even more books to choose from. But it was just like, I don't know, it just scratched some part of my brain. Like I love books, I love reading, and I love games, and they put all of that together in a charming way. And so yeah, that's a game I think deserves a shout out this year.
And you talked about it plenty here on the show, so if you want, you can go back and listen to that was like summertime, right? When you were doing more of a deep dive on that.
I think when we did the mid-year check-in.
I'm gonna give it to this is hard. This is actually one of the few awards that I had like runners up for, because in 2025, for the first year in a very long time, it was my indie year. And we'll talk about it more as we like move on, but I played a lot more indies this year than I did like AAAs. And so I want to shout out And Roger first, which is a great, like really heartbreaking story about, I think it's on Switch now, so you guys should play it. It's like an hour about living with a loved one with dementia, and that's all I'll say. It's very good. I also really, really, really would like to shout out Ooh, which I played and talked about here on the show. It is 4 O's. It is on Steam. It is a Metroidvania that you can beat in, I think it took me 2.5 hours, and that was doing everything in this game. The coolest thing about this game is it's a Metroidvania where you can do just about everything you could do at the end of the game that you can do at the beginning of the game. But each area, instead of giving you a new ability, it is just teaching you what you can do with the moves that you have from the start of the game through very clever platforming challenges. And it's so smart. I've seen some other people picking it up and shouting it out on their Game of the Year pods as well. And I loved it so much, but I have to give it, I thought about actually giving this my Game of the Year at one point, but Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. You want to talk about great Metroidvanias with this amazing Game Boy Advance art style. Looks like a top-down Zelda game where you have this yo-yo that you're accumulating abilities for. You're this really adorable, like Nickelodeon style Cartoon Network looking rabbit, and you're going on this massive adventure. It's just so colorful. The music is great. It's one of the best like indie Metroidvanias I think I've ever played. It's just so much fun, and I haven't heard enough people talk about it. It is to me, it's like it so far has been like my definitive Switch 2 game, because like I got it right when the Switch 2 came out, and there was a Switch 2 version for it. And so pick it up, Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. So I'm going to give it to that. That's my number one.
Yeah, that was one I wanted to check out, but I haven't had a chance to. Like really fun. But I think for me, I'm gonna go with a non-indie game, but I will be making it up with some of the my top picks later on with indies. And I think I'm gonna give it to Donkey Kong Bonanza because I loved Donkey Kong Bonanza so much. It's so creative with what the different worlds you go to. The digging mechanic is just it is endlessly so fun, and that's only like multiplied by the different bonanza abilities you get, whether it's the base kind of gorilla one, you get the elephant one later in the game where you can suck up a bunch of ground and then shoot it back up as like balls that you can do even more destruction with. Um, and like the boss fights are really cool, even though they're pretty easy and they're pretty short, but they're
Until the
like
final boss.
really until the final boss,
The
which is
final boss is like
insane, and
so impossible.
it's basically a Dark Souls boss. And even though the Switch 2 has better performance, it was chugging. It was chugging like crazy, but still really good. Um, yeah, I just think it's like it was a shame to not get like an Odyssey 2, but this was I couldn't really like, complain when you get a game as good as this that has so much care. The music's great too. Yeah, I just think Donkey Kong Bonanza is like it's a game that I still need to go back to because there's still post game stuff that I haven't finished. Because I almost don't want the experience to be over just yet. But yeah, unfortunately, didn't make it into my top three, so I'm gonna shout out here.
I'm glad it's getting talked about here because it also did not make it into my top 3, and I was worried it wouldn't get talked
Wow.
about at all. Donkey Kong Bonanza is wonderful. Like, it is amazing. We talked about it on the show quite a bit. It is truly like the next great 3D Nintendo platformer, but 2025 was packed, and you had to make some tough calls, and so DK Bonanza isn't on my top 3 either. So I'm glad that you're honoring it here, Tom. Next, we go to the best gaming character / performance. Tom, you can take it away this time.
Okay, I think this might be a kind of a rogue pick, but I'm gonna give it to a character from Hades 2. I'm not gonna give it to one of the main. I guess not one of them. She is kind of a main character in a way. I'm gonna give it to Erin Yvette, who plays Scylla, the second boss that you come across in Hades 2. Just because I don't know, I think Scylla is such a fun character. And also this category is best performance. Her performance, actual performances in the songs in the games are incredible. They're on my like playlist now, and I listen to those songs because they're so catchy and fun. Um, yeah, I always love like roguelikes. I feel like it's easy with Hades because the gameplay loop is so good, but like sometimes it can feel like oh, I have to do this boss again, like I have to go through this part again. But like the fact that the bosses are so like compelling and have such fun things to say, and Scylla specifically has always says something like fun or like like annoying to say to you when you're going through. I just love it. So yeah, shout out Scylla, she's great.
She was probably the most fun boss edition that they have in that game. And like Erin Yvette is so good. I've really only discovered her this year, but she's also in Dispatch as the voice
Oh
of
yeah, she
Blonde
is.
Baser. So like that's really cool crossover there. So yeah, definitely a performer I'm keeping my eye on now.
Especially, yeah, her Hades performance. We kind of teased it a bit when we were on the pod a couple of weeks ago, but that whole level area, the way you get introduced to them is so cool. And then you finally get there and it's just like, oh, we're at a rock concert and this is sick. This is the coolest thing ever. And then you die and you come back and they're playing a different song that's reactive to
Yeah.
what just happened. And it's like, how did you do this? This is amazing. I love it so much. But yeah, that is definitely a great pick. Lauren, who is your best performance / character?
You go next.
I'll go next. Okay. I think this might be the only award that we have here today where I'm in line with the Game Awards. It's Jennifer English as Mael in Expedition 33, Clair Obscur. I have repurchased this game. I played it when it initially came out, and I'm higher on it now than I was then. I really liked it in April when it had come out, but maybe it's just like the crap I've had to go through in life since then. This game is hitting so much harder, and her performance I really liked playing through the first time, but playing through it again, it's like, oh yeah, like she deserved that award. I was humming and hawing about which Expedition character I would have given it to had I had to give the game award to someone, but it's definitely her. It is her game. Ultimately, she is amazing. I think Mayal as a character, all the characters in that game are so incredibly realized, and there's so many twists and turns that really push that performance and push the actor to do something that I really haven't seen, like this level of emotional variety in a game's performance since like The Last of Us Part 2 with a lot of its characters. There's just so many really, really, really hard, heavy moments that they have to do, as well as moments of sheer joy. And so I think she is. I didn't know Jennifer English too well in coming into this, but Mael is now like one of my favorite gaming characters, and she is so, so, so delightful. And I can't wait to see what they do with her in a movie.
Yeah, it's a shame I haven't been able to like see what she's brought to the table, because yeah, everything that I've heard about it, it's just great. It sounds great. So yeah, hopefully soon.
Also,
Have you seen that thing going around where it's like, you don't need to know what game of the year is, it's whatever game Jennifer English is in, because she was also in Baldur's Gate and Elden Ring.
Oh,
that's funny.
Damn.
I was like,
crazy.
what was she an Astrobot? But that doesn't make any sense.
She might have been someone. I don't know.
Maybe she is Astrobot. And it's funny because you guys have seen Mael's character, right?
Yeah.
The best part is like, at least through, no, I'd say all the way through, she is like the heaviest hitting character in the entire game. But looking at her, you would like, she's like 9 years younger than everyone else. She's this tiny petite sword swinger, but she 9,999 damage all the time. Boom, top damage. She's just nailing it, which is awesome.
So funny.
Okay, Lauren, best gaming performance, character. I'm assuming I think I know where you're going, but I don't know specifically who, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was split on this, and I still am. I think I'll do my shout out, which is a Hades 2 character. I didn't want to like repeat having two Hades characters in this category, but I did really like Malinois, who was performed by Judy Allisley. But I do think my stand-up performance, and I feel weird about it because it's like a Hollywood actor. So sometimes, crossing those lines, but he was really good. It was Aaron Paul in Dispatch. He plays Robert Robertson. And I think, he's your protagonist character, but he just makes him so likable and funny and endearing, even though like it would be so easy to just be like another white guy superhero who lost his suit. But he's so like, the journey that he goes on is just, and you as the player, is so enthralling, and he just never misses a beat. Like, I think it was really cool to see Aaron Paul go into the game world, and like, he's obviously a great actor in his own right in film and TV, but he really nailed it in this. And I think that he made this character who could have been so generic so interesting, and that's what really drew that performance for me.
I've been a huge Aaron Paul fan for a very long time, and there's so many people in my life and podcasts I listen to and websites I read and videos I watch that are like, I think this is my game of the year. And I'm just, I gotta play Dispatch. Like, I gotta dive in because I love Invincible. I love some of the boys. Not all of the boys, but I think that this whole thing sounds so up my alley.
Yeah, and like I've loved Aaron Paul since Breaking Bad, and seeing him prove that he can like do voice acting with like Powerplex and Invincible.
He's
I was
amazing
like, okay,
as Powerplex.
Like, it's crazy what he does in that show, and that just gets me like so excited to see what like he's bringing to Dispatch. So yeah, I'm excited to see this performance. Sounds cool.
Next, we move to the Hindsight Award, the number one game from 2025 that we wish we had played but didn't. I've got a pretty big
the rules with this one.
You broke the rules with this one?
No, you know the rules with this one.
Oh, that we have to
play.
We have to play it. Yeah.
So choose wisely.
Is anyone making their decision based on that?
No,
I don't think so.
No,
but I will do it. So I will play the game.
For me, it's Hollow Knight Silksong. Like, I've kind of like, as we got further into the fall, I almost started to think like, I'm going to need an answer to this question when we get to it. So I'm going to like hold it off further because there was so many other things to play. I want to get around to Ball X Pit, but it's Hollow Knight Silksong for me. I think I need a little bit more distance between the original Hollow Knight because that could be a lot going right from that into this, but I'm getting close. I have a feeling that by the new year, I will be ready to dip my toes into these waters, and then we'll have to come back and do a new episode where we go, oh, Clan has a new game of the year, 2025. It's Hollow Knight Silk Song. Everyone's in
Yeah.
agreement. But yeah, it's I missed it because I thought I should play the first one, and now I'm ready, and so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I also was like, oh, I should play the first one before I play Silk Song, and then famously just bought it and played it. But I never finished it because I was like, ooh, too many things.
Yeah. But I think it's smart that you space it out, Klein. And at least you have tried it. You got to play it at PAX, so you know like what is in store. So you got something to look forward to.
I was kind of mad when they announced that the Switch 2 version of Hollow Knight is coming out, because it didn't. That my one complaint about playing the original Hollow Knight on Switch 2 was like it didn't look that great. Like there was definitely this like kind of fuzziness going on a little bit on the screen where like this could look so much sharper. And now that they're having the Switch 2 upgrade, it's going to run better. It will look a bit better. But from what I played on the Switch 2 demo of Silk Song, it is what I want. Like just like picking up that demo for those few minutes that I did is like, oh, these colors are popping so much more. The lines are just that much more clear, especially in a world like this where it all looks kind of hand drawn. Like you want those really contrasting lines around the characters and the world and stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to playing this game. Let's go to you next, Tom. What is your Hindsight Award?
Well, it's basically between the two games that you guys picked for best gaming character performance. It's Dispatch and Expedition 33. I think overall it probably is Expedition 33 is what my hindsight could be, just because like hearing so much about it all year, so many people coming to me and being like, you will love this game. I just haven't got around to
Tom,
it. I have it here.
I'm coming to you right now. You will love this game.
Okay. That's good because I have
Breaking
it.
news.
It's right here. I will play it at some point, hopefully early next year. And yeah, I can't wait to try it. Dispatch is definitely a very, very close second, especially because they just announced this past week that it's coming, or maybe they didn't announce it, but like someone saw a store listing or something like that. But it's coming to Switch and Switch 2. So that's kind of an exciting form factor for it to come to. That sounds kind of ideal to me. So hopefully it runs well. But yeah, it's probably.
I don't see why it wouldn't. It's not very demanding.
Yeah, surely, right? But yeah,
just don't play it on a plane. I feel like there's a lot of, I don't know. Maybe do play it on a plane. I don't know what you're into, but like there's some R-rated stuff in there.
Okay, yeah,
might not make the most like portable friendly experience.
How would you know?
How would I know? Because it's all the internet's talking about. Like there's Dong and Dispatch, and it's like I don't. My algorithm's curated in a certain way, Lauren. Okay, there's nothing I can do about it. It just shows up.
Very revealing.
Lauren, what's yours?
I wish you'd said Dispatch, Tom, because now it's going to be boring when I say Claire Obscure as well.
Sorry.
Are you are saying Claire Obscure, and are you committed to play it?
Yeah. No, I usually don't succumb to the game of the year hype. Like I didn't do it with Elden Ring. I didn't do it with Baldur's Gate. But this one I'm looking at and I'm like, oh, I looked at a bit of gameplay. I'm like, I think I could give this a go. And I am just genuinely curious. Like it does seem to be making waves in ways that those other games didn't in the past, particularly being first game from a studio. So yeah, I'm just intrigued. I want to know what's going on over there.
And it's a good, if you're going to dip your toes into this sort of experience with the turn-based and these like RPG trappings, I think you can beat it in like 20 hours. Like it's not Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 or whatever it was called. That is like Rebirth. 70 hours by the time Tom and I were done with it. Yeah, you can beat it pretty quickly, put it down on an easy. Yeah, there's some stuff like the parrying, but if you don't want to parry, you can just dodge. You don't have to get hit by the attacks. And I'm excited that both of you are going to try it. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. Oh, can't wait.
Next, we have the best game we played in 2025 that did not release in 2025. Tom?
Yeah, I was looking through and I was like, what game should this be? I played a couple different games that I really enjoyed. I really loved Portal when we did that for New Game Plus. I thought that was really fun, even though it made me so motion sick that the room was spinning. I really loved finally getting to Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, which is my Hindsight Award last year that I finally played this year, and that like the Metroidvania elements like came together so well, and it's such an underrated gem. I think overall though, it's probably gonna go to Stellar Blade, which is look
Wow.
people people
You want to talk
look at
about
that
my
game.
algorithm, Lauren, okay?
This is my
We've got some
algorithm.
interrogating to do down here.
Look, you look at it and it's like, okay, yeah, sexy lady with a sword, and she's beating like weird monsters up, and like, yeah, it is basically that. But I was surprised how good the like combat is in the game. Like, it feels so good to take down enemies. The countering system's really fun. The different abilities you get that Eve gets access to as you're going through. It was just like I had such a like fun time playing it. The story is god awful. Like it's basically nonsense, and the characters are like paper thin. But that really didn't matter because the gameplay was just like that compelling, and it was fun to like explore the different maps that you like thrown into. So yeah, like surprisingly, I think it is that game. So come at me, but I think Celebrate's pretty good overall.
I was not expecting Stellar Blade to get brought up on this podcast today.
Who would have thought, right? Oh god.
Lauren, do you have an answer for this question? It's not Stellar Blade, right?
Sure.
I did not go near that game at all. Yeah, I thought it would be kind of neat to be like, oh, my hindsight game from this year was the best game that I played, which was Balatro. But then I remembered I played it because I didn't really play many games from that weren't from this year. But then I remembered I actually did play Ghost of Tsushima for the first time this year. I did kind of blaze through it and didn't appreciate everything it had to offer, but it really left like such an impact. I just like had 2 weeks with it where I was like living in Tsushima, and like even like Klein and Gabby came to stay with me, and I was like, I can't talk to you. I'm playing Tsushima. And yeah, it was just like I just thought it was so beautiful, and I was annoyed that I'd waited so long.
Very good game. And you kind of devoured it. So now you're savoring Yote, and you'll play it for the next 3 years and probably enjoy yourself much more because of it.
Yeah.
Probably.
My answer is a game I already talked about, Hollow Knight. Like I did not get it. I tried this game like 8 times before, and I'd get to the first boss, and I'm like, it's so wayward. Where am I going? What's going on? And then when Silksong was coming out, I got it on Switch too, which honestly, playing it portably, I think is what like actually put me over the edge and made me want to really dive into it deeper, because I could just pick it up and have something else going on and be fiddling around, whether it be exploring the map or doing whatever. But this time it finally clicked, and I get it now. I totally understand why why Hollow Knight is as beloved as it is. Just this world, these characters, the music, and then you get to the gameplay where it's just, it feels so pixel perfect and smooth, and these bosses are so incredibly creative and so much fun, and everyone tells me that Silksong is better in every way, and I can't fathom that. I rarely these days 100% a game, especially, and this might sound silly, especially if there's no platinum trophy on the other side of it. But I did it here simply because I'm like, I just want to be in this world more. I don't want to see the end of it. I opened the end very early and thought, no, I want to go and I want to be the best I possibly can be when I go and take on that final boss. And so I went and found all the secrets. I eventually had to pull up a guide and just start checking things off because I was deep enough in where I had like 4 or 5 things left that I needed to find. It's just so good, and I'm so excited to play the sequel. Hollow Knight Silksong will be, I need to look now at my like top 20 games of all time, but it's there. I just don't know where. Like, it is truly a marvel.
Yeah, I'm glad you finally got to try it. Like, try it and have it click for you, because like it is such a special game. And I'm surprised, like, because I haven't like, I beat the game, but I haven't done like a lot of I haven't like 100% of it like you did. So I'm surprised you did love it that much that you got to like seek out everything this game had to offer, because like, yeah, that's really cool.
Some of those bosses though, the worst. I hate them.
So
some of them, I'm like, there's some of them where I'm like, if I love this game, but God, if every one of the bosses felt like this, I would never come back to it.
Just wait for Silksong, man. Just
no,
wait.
Don't tell me that. The worst one was,
doozies.
there's the one way in the depths that like continually shoots flies out of it, and you have to
Oh
like it's
yeah,
you eat the
that
bottom
sucks.
maybe is poison, and there's just a bunch of platforms, and it's up on the top platform, and you have to like jump up and hit it, but you're also trying to like get out the. It's awful. I'm like, this sucks. This is the worst. I did it, but it sucks. Next up is the most anticipated game for 2026. So I don't know what your answers would be. I think you guys know what my answer is going to be. It's Grand Theft Auto 6. Like that might be my most anticipated game maybe ever. I am so very excited for it. It's been, by the time it comes out, 13 years since the last one. GTA 5 is one of my most played games ever across however many generations, 3 console generations at this point. And I think GTA 6 is going to live up to the hype, if that is possible. Okay, the people are so excited for this, and obviously we thought at one point it was going to be coming earlier. It was supposed to be this year, then it was midway through next year. Now
And
it's
this was
next
your answer
fall.
last year.
It was really.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well,
Oh wow.
there we go. 2 years
And
in a
it'll be
row.
next year as well.
2 years running. Hey, no, don't put that in the
Don't
universe.
curse. Don't curse it.
It's GTA 6. Tom, what's your most anticipated game?
I had so many written down for this because there's so many games to look forward to already coming in next year. And like surprisingly, GTA 6 actually isn't one of them. Although, like now that you say, I'm like, it probably is one of my most anticipated. But the one I'll probably go for, I think it's Resident Evil Requiem. I'm just so excited to try this game after playing it at PAX. I didn't mention it at part of that PAX talk, but playing that with our boy Oscar that we met on the PAX show floor, and
Shout out
playing it side by
Oscar.
side, he's the goat. It was so fun. Like I am so excited for what they're like bringing to this game, and like to then go, watch the Game Awards with you guys, and Leon shows up and gets confirmed, and his gameplay looks awesome too. I'm just so hyped. Like I have quickly become a Resident Evil stan, and I'm gonna be there day one. I think I can't wait to play it.
You'll be
I won't.
there alone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks
that's
too
fine.
scary. I appreciate that Leon's back. Lauren, your most anticipated game for 2026. The last award before we get to Game of the Year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about it because you're right, Tom. There's just so much to look forward to. Like GTA 6, I am excited for, but because I haven't really had like that will be my first GTA game. I'm like, I don't think I can really put it as that. So I think really what I'm most excited for is Wolverine. Like I love Insomniac's games. I love Spider-Man. I can't wait to see what they're doing with this. I love that we get to play another Marvel superhero game. So that's the one I'm really, really looking forward to.
This is one of those games that, because it was announced, I guess you could say the same thing about GTA 6, but I feel like even at this point, we've seen more of GTA 6 than we have Wolverine. It just feels like one of those games that doesn't feel real. Like it's like, oh, like we're going to play the next Insomniac Marvel game, and it will be within the next, I guess, 9 months probably. It's nuts. That is crazy.
Great.
I'm more optimistic about Wolverine hitting its release date than I am GTA 6.
Yeah, me too. And I like this is a close second because I can't wait to see what they do with Wolverine in this form factor. What they do with the X-Men. Please let Cyclops be in the game in some form, please. This game, when it hits, it's gonna be so much fun.
And we get to the final award of the podcast. Game of the Year. In years past, we have each just come with one game, but because 2025 was so good, and I have a feeling we could probably keep this for future years, we'll be doing 2 runners-up, counting up, going 3, 2, 1, and then unveiling our games of the year. However, as we go through this, we'll be going one by one. Lauren, Tom, Klein. If somebody has a game on their list higher than you, we'll save the conversation until we get to that point. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Who would like to start with their number 3?
I could go because I know neither of you will have this game.
I don't think any of my games are on any of your lists as well.
Okay.
Which is crazy.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Well, I can go first. My number 3 is a game that I guess it's like it did come out this year, but only part of it. And it's Deltarune Chapter 3 specifically. Because
now,
that game
for the sake of the podcast, Does anyone have Deltarune Chapter 3 on their list?
Guys, come on.
Nope.
Anyone play it?
Okay, Tom, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah, Deltarune is a game that I've just been meaning to play for so long. My friend Brendan, shout out Brendan, has been trying to get me to play it for ages, and he finally came over and was like, "We're sitting down. I'm going to play this game," and I'm so glad he forced me to do that, basically, because Deltarune is so good. It's basically a spiritual successor to Undertale, but they're releasing it in chapters. And Chapter 3 essentially puts your main characters in this, like, essentially like a game show. You're like participating in this game show with this weird fella called Mr. Tenor, who is basically an anthropomorphic TV, and he's really depressed. He's just really sad and wants you to participate in his dumb game show. And if you don't, then he gets really upset. But it introduces such fun gameplay mechanics where you're doing all these different mini games. You get to play like this Godzilla type mini game at one point. There are other like segments that are part of the game show where they're basically just like, we're talking about like 2D Zelda a lot in this episode, or at least I am. But they're basically 2D Zelda segments. And they really find, well, Toby Fox, who develops the game, finds really fun ways to subvert the genre and just surprise you. And that is just felt throughout like the gameplay, the humor, like the writing is just so clever and fun. The music is just it's just like, I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. It has one of the hardest bosses I've ever fought in a game ever, which is I'm forgetting his name, but he's like the secret boss of chapter 3, and he's like impossible. But it felt so satisfying to beat him after like 3 or 4 hours of just trying to like bashing my head against the wall. Yeah, Deltarune's super fun. I have chapter 4 like just waiting to be played, as similar to like Klein waiting for Silk Song. I'm just waiting to like get back to chapter 4 at some point. But yeah, chapter 3 is a delight. So good.
Deltarune and Undertale, both games that I'm like, I would love these. I would love them,
One day.
but I
Yeah,
haven't
you
done
gotta
it
play
one
them.
day. The music is so good. I listen to the soundtracks all the time.
Yeah, it's
Let's
amazing.
jump to me with my number 3. It's going to be Claire Obscure Expedition 33, a game that no one else in the podcast has played. Talked plenty about it. It is, I think, one of the best like original works of fiction that I've experienced, especially in the video game medium. It does so many fun and devastating and just like amazing twists and turns that when you're playing and you're starting to like, man, I'm getting a little bored of maybe this particular area or something interesting hasn't happened. The second you say that, a cutscene starts and the most just heartbreaking shit ever goes on screen. And you're like, what is, how you can't do that? You're not allowed to do that. That's not okay. I can't believe this is this team's first game. The polish is incredible. The battles are amazing. The music is, you want to talk about banger soundtrack, is absolutely insane. And I keep saying it to people when I bring this game up. I was actually on a radio show this past week talking about this game and how it did so well at the Game Awards. I can't wait for this to get adapted. It's the same way I felt when I finished The Last of Us for the first time. I can't wait for this to get adapted into something so that people who would never touch a video game can experience a story like this. And they've already announced a movie, so it will be happening. I can imagine after the year that this game has had, because that movie was announced before the game came out. They are fast tracking this in any way possible, but it is just, Claire Obscure is something truly, truly special, and I look forward to seeing what Sandfall does next, because if this was their first time doing it, what are they going to come up with for their second attempt?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like someone shared like a Reddit post that Sandfall had posted like way back in the day. Like, hey guys, we're like a small indie team, and like we're just looking for some help with like voice acting and stuff. And like it's so cool to see them from back then to like now winning all these awards and like the game's beloved, and like, yeah, it's such a cool story.
I think that's why they were all so emotional when they all got up on stage every time they did at the Game Awards, because it really does feel that this shouldn't, from a team this small, from these people starting a studio for the very first time with a game that looks like this shouldn't have happened. Like this is not the, if you were to run this simulation 100 times, 99 times, this is not going to be what it is. But it came out that one time and it's like, it is truly, truly magical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously Tom and I want to know what's up because we put it as a Hindsight game.
Exactly.
Lauren, you're number 3 on the game of the year.
Okay, well, this is a game that I haven't even finished, but I know it's up there for me. But it's Ghost of Yoti. I don't know if anyone else has that.
I actually don't.
I don't as well.
Well, thank God I'm representing Ghost of Yoti because even we reviewed this on the show this year. Our friend David Smith came on board to chat about it with us, and even then I was like, I'm not 100% sold on it, but like I'm pretty sure. And I'm still not even finished. I'm not even close, but I'm just still having such a good time with it. And I think, if there's one thing about me, it's like I love my open world, immersive, beautiful looking games. And that's exactly what this is. So yeah, it kind of just checked all the boxes for me immediately. And it just hasn't let me down so far. So it was always going to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a great game, and it just missed my list. This and Donkey Kong were my 2 hardest. Like, man, I can't believe I'm not going to talk about these on my game of the year top 3. But I think Yote is amazing. The world is beautifully rendered. I love the story. I love the character of Atsu. The combat is so much fun. But I did come out of it feeling like this is the best possible version of this. But I've done this before. Like I have it felt like a Ghost of Tsushima plus. And that for me in a year like this where it was so stacked was like, I don't think I can ultimately get it up into my top 3 because there were so many new experiences that I had this year, or experiences that did to me revolutionize something in a way that I'm like, I have to honor these.
Yeah, I'm similar in that, like, if not for these other games they're going to talk about, like Donkey Kong Bonanza and Ghost were like, they were literally just on the cusp. Like, and it's a shame. Well, it's not a shame because there are so many good games and it's like fun to play them all. But I wish I could have included it. But I'm glad you mentioned it, Lauren, because it does deserve to get its flowers. It is so good. Like I was like looking back at like some of the gameplay um like shares that I had recorded like as I was playing the game, and some of just the combat things you can do, like you can get like ranged weapons like the bow or the gun and like slow down time and like do like headshots and then like instantly go into like slashing people. Like it's so satisfying in like those combat moments, and then also just so jaw-droppingly gorgeous with some of its locations and like the scenery and the trees and the snow and the everything. Like it's so it's so polished and so well done. So it's a shame I couldn't include it, but
And
I'm
it's such a
glad.
video game. Like that's the thing I keep coming
Yeah,
back to with it, where like every
it
little
is.
thing in it is so gamey, but it's better for it. It's like, oh, I have to go do this side quest, and the side quest is 100% going to give me like this specific upgrade thing that's going to go into here, and like the combat's going to feel like this awesome action when I'm doing it. It just is so like, this to me is like the best that one of these can be, like one of these open world action uh Sony first party games, really, because we've got a lot of this kind of style game from Sony, but it is very good.
It also has a wolf, so game of
It
the year.
does have a wolf. It has a
Exactly.
few.
Yeah.
um Tom, you're number 2.
My number 2, I think it's gonna be Hades 2. I don't know if you guys have that.
I also have
Anyone
that
else?
as number 2.
As number 2.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, let's talk about it. Hades 2.
Okay. Do you not have it, Klein?
I don't have it in my top 3.
Whoa, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I still haven't finished this game. I think you guys are a lot further than me because I haven't even been Chronos yet. But of what I've played, like it's just so I just like come to this game and I'm like so shocked how well they've upped the ante since the original Hades game. Like every time you're back at the crossroads, there's a new thing for you to like to uncover, like new people to talk to, or new spells you can cast, or new items you can find. That makes runs just that much more compelling, and then the runs themselves are so much fun. I really like how um like not only are the runs themselves like structurally very different to how the first game was. The first game was like very much you do a set amount of things, you fight a boss, do another set amount of things, fight a boss. This one, like they switch up the formula. Like you get to certain areas as you go down, that the format just completely changes. Like there's one where it's a lot more open, and like you can kind of find different aspects or different upgrades in this more open kind of space, or like but then you have that, and then you have like on top of that a completely other run that you can do. So like if you get bored of one, why not just try the other one for a bit and see how far you can get with that. So yeah, I've just been like dying to get back to it because I've been playing Ghost of Yote so much, but just trying to finish it, that like now I can finally be like, okay, I can get back to Hades 2 and sink my teeth into that, and really enjoy all of that. But yeah, it's just so good. The weapons, the characters, everything about the game is just amazing. But Lauren, you also had it. Like, take it away.
Yeah, I think I said this when our first impressions, and that was before I'd even played as much as I have now. I think it's a perfect game. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. The only frustration I have is that it's hard and I can't beat it. I can't beat the other way. But that's a me problem. So I think, I love the original Hades. I came to that a little bit late, but I love this one's, I think, so much more because you kind of like, there's nothing really that's like, oh, I need to go play Hades again. Whereas here it's like, there will always be more for me to do. Like, I don't ever feel like it's a waste of time. And I've just had so many good like memories with it. Like, okay, I played this for 5 hours on my flight to New York instead of sleeping. I'll probably play it for 14 hours on my flight to Australia without sleeping. Like, it's just this, and the way they unfold the story as well, like they kind of drip feed you this narrative that's really compelling, no matter whether you've beaten Cronus or not, or whether you've beaten the other way or not. And yeah, the way that they have changed some of the gods that you knew from the first game as well. Like, I loved like that iteration on things where it's still surprising all the time. Yeah, it's like everything that was in the first game but better.
The reason that I don't have Hades 2 on my list here, I struggle to find. I think that Hades 2 is as Lauren said, I don't know if I would call it perfect, but it is like, it's everything I could really want
Why?
from
What's
one
wrong
of
with
these.
it?
I find if I actually was to like really nail it down, I am not as hooked with some of the like inter-god story stuff in this game as I was with Hades. I think just about everything else is better than Hades 1, but I found the political drama and that sort of thing more engaging in the first game.
Okay.
I think Hades 2 is a masterpiece. I think it is truly an incredible game. I think that the gameplay, the combat is so good. In Hades 1, and I said this on our first impressions and maybe a few times after, but in Hades 1, I never felt like I could build a build that like felt like I was breaking the game or cheating. In Hades 2, I feel like I'm doing it all the time and I love it. I love it. It's like, oh, like let's get this burn going and all this sort of thing. And now I'm doubling up burn, and it feels so good. And that is my favorite thing when it comes to these sort of roguelike games. It's like, at what point do I become Neo plugging into the Matrix and just like start seeing everything? And I'm like, oh, if I have to do this, otherwise, so I could do this, and this. I haven't finished it either. I think right about where you are, Lauren. I still haven't beaten the final boss going up, I think. I haven't touched it in a while, but it's a tough year. It's a tough year.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
Oh, I guess we're going to me because both of you had it at number 2.
Yeah, let's see what was better.
I talked about this. Well,
I'm kidding.
I feel like I'm gonna get some, I don't know, laughed out of the room here.
It's Skate 4.
Skate 4, guys. It's the Marvel Tokon beta. There are in 2025 a couple of games that really emotionally moved me and shook me to my core and made me like outright sob, but only one of them had to do with falling blocks. So Luminous Arise. It was always going to be Luminous Arise. It was always going to show up on this list. You're telling me that the Tetris Effect team, who I found out originally created the Luminous format as well, but they're basically making Tetris Effect, which is like one of my favorite games ever, and plastering that on top of Luminous, which I enjoy so much more than Tetris. It's the most gamey thing Actually, no. It's one of the most gaming things I have on my list. It's not Clair Obscur where you're getting this epic story, but you are going on a journey and you're going through these like wonderful worlds with headphones on and amazing music and dropping these blocks. And it's arcade action and it's something that I can just play forever and ever and ever. And yes, it is just more luminous, but more luminous is great. And that's why it's going here. Everyone is looking at me like I am crazy, but that is okay. Luminous Arise rocks. You guys are wrong. I love it.
No, I
Well, we
don't think
haven't
you're
played
wrong.
it, so
Yeah,
we're not wrong.
it's definitely one I want to try because I've never played a Luminous game and I love Tetris, so I feel like I would enjoy it. So I'll reserve judgment until I've tried Luminous Rise because it does look fun. It does look something like up my alley.
Yeah,
then
and
one
also
level,
knowing how much you loved Tetris Effect, like it
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
It tracks.
definitely.
one level, you have the blocks are fruit, and then when you clear them, they cut and shoot up at the screen. It's so cool.
It's like Fruit Ninja.
It is. It's just like Fruit Ninja. Okay, let's get to it. All that's left is our game of the year. Tom, Drew, we go to you.
Oh man.
Take it away. The floor is yours. Hand out your award. We'll be sending it in the mail.
So when I was mentioning earlier about a story where I was like, should I play Legends at A or should I play this other game? This is the other game that I was talking about. Because I had to play it again because I haven't finished it fully yet, just to make sure like that this was my game of the year, and it 100% is after playing it again. It's Hollow Knight Silksong. Like it was always going to be Hollow Knight Silksong after I played it. Oh my god, what a game! Like I said, I still not finished it. I'm like deep into. I'm not even that deep. I've like just started Act 3, which is basically like you have to do a bunch of other prerequisites, like to get to even. So it's almost like a secret third part of the game that you might just completely miss if you aren't looking for the right things. Which is what happened to me the first time I played through the game. But God, the game is immense. I mean, you guys have played it. Klein more briefly than Lauren and I.
I saw a
but,
12-year-old girl playing it next to me and looked over and went, man, she is so much better at this game than I am.
just crushing it. But like what they've done with this to improve from Hollow Knight is incredible. Like Hornet feels so fun, so like nimble and agile, and you can just zip around. I've unlocked a new ability that I won't spoil what it is, but like it increased the amount of maneuverability that I already had, and I like didn't know like I needed it until I got it. So that just feels fun. The different tools and like I guess like stances you can get as you go through the game, like really shake up how you approach enemies. Like I've just unlocked one where you can basically like so Link as the Master Sword, he can shoot like laser blades out of the Master Sword when he has full health. I've basically unlocked that for Hornet now. And it makes things almost like a Mega Man game in a way. It feels really fun, and it completely shook up what I knew this game could even be. Yeah, the locations you go to are just gorgeous. Like the colors just pop, especially on the Switch too. Like they've made it look so amazing and run so well. The bosses, oh my god, the bosses are so frustrating sometimes, but so fun. One of my favorites is Trobio, which is like he's like a showman, I guess, and he's doing like little spins on stage, and he's going Trobio, it's me, Trobio, as he's rolling around, and like shooting fireworks and stuff. And then there's also like really horrible bosses like Grohl the Great, who I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy, to be honest. He is a bastard, but I beat him and I felt so good. Yeah, just Silksong, like I said, still going through it. I'm gonna keep loving this game as I go through it because it's so much fun. And yeah, I'm so glad Team Cherry managed to push it over the line and get it out this year because man, it's something special.
And don't forget my guy Sherma,
Yeah, Shomer as well. Like just
the MVP.
keeping me motivated the whole time, and the ways you encounter Sherma throughout the game as well is so fun. And seeing them in, I don't want to spoil anything, but some moments of weakness, I would say. It's it's
No.
quite
Their
quite
song goes into a
interesting.
minor key as opposed to the
Yeah,
beautiful
maybe
major
it
key that we get the rest of the game.
Maybe it does. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that because it's interesting.
Look forward to giving it a try.
Yeah, you'll love it.
We'll go to me, my game of the year. I think this is ultimately the reason you asked me. I hadn't thought about exactly why, but you asked me why Hades 2 isn't on the list. And I think it's because of this game, because I got my Hades 2 earlier in the year, a sequel to perhaps my favorite roguelike leading into that. And it's my favorite game of 2025. It's Monster Train 2. This
Oh
is,
yeah.
this is, I mean, this to me is the roguelike deck builder for me going forward. I love Slay the Spire so much. I'm very excited for the sequel, and hopefully it comes out next year in early access because it was supposed to be this year. But the first Monster Train I really, really enjoyed. Thought it was good, but not great. And then just something about, to me, this felt like your favorite, you guys probably won't relate to this, but your favorite card game or board game coming out with that, like, here's version 2. Like, we have refined the edges, we've added a bunch of new things, and then halfway through the game they're like, guess what, we're going to throw back all the old things into it as well on top of that. And it feels like the ultimate deck building roguelite experience, which is something that I really, really jive with. It's the Magic player in me. It's the former Pokemon card collector in me. I just like seeing cool cards do cool things. And Monster Train 2, they added a little story in there that doesn't matter. Like I don't even think about it. You're escaping from hell and then you are getting back to hell. But it's so good. The mechanics that they add, you want to talk about broken builds. There's so many ways to just completely obliterate this game and just shred it to pieces. And so I played it all on Game Pass and I've been itching to play it again, and it's on Switch 2 now. And so I'm like, that's portably, like, this could be just something that lives there. So it's Monster Train 2. I love it a lot. I'm very excited that all of us have very varied lists. I think this may be the first time that this has happened on the show, but y'all got to check it out. It's really good.
I don't know if any of us have ever had the same game of the year, to be honest.
Trying
I
to
don't
think.
think we
Last
have.
year, a lot of us talked about Astrobot last year.
Last year was
I can't remember
Astrobot.
if Yeah.
No,
But did
I
we
had
all have that?
Helldivers last year.
And Tom had
I don't.
Balatro.
Something else. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Balatro, yeah. So yeah, interesting.
Never mind.
Yeah. We keep it varied, keep
Yeah.
the conversation different. But yeah, I after playing things like Balatro, even like Queen's Blood in FF7 Rebirth, it makes me want to try something like Monster Train. So maybe at some point I'll give it a go and see what the deck building sickos have got going on over there.
And the thing that Monster Train 2 I think does quite well compared to other card roguelike deck builders is that you don't have the full card set when you start, and you are constantly in the same way that Hades. It feels very Hades 2. After every run, it's like, I unlocked this, and this, and that's going to give me these cards that are going to start showing up, or this thing's going to start showing up on my runs, and it's going to completely change. It's going to make my decks more powerful, but it's going to completely change how I can ramp things up even faster as I get into the game and move through each run. It's very good. Lauren, your game of the year, the last one, you're going to end it off.
Yeah, I think I probably showed my hand when I put Hades 2 in second place, but all three of my games of the year came out in like within 3 weeks of each other. What an insane time that was. But yeah, it's Dispatch. I never saw this game coming. It was on my radar. I liked the cast. I like superhero shows, but I love video games, but first and foremost, I'm a film and TV person, and this is the blending of those two worlds. It's the best of both worlds. It is a return to episodic narrative storytelling in games that I don't think we've seen in years, and was something that kind of passed me by, I think, in my earlier years with Telltale. So it's just, I played it again this week and I made all the different choices, and it was just like playing it again for the first time. It's just so enjoyable. And I think it's also just like so many pieces of things that are me, like superheroes, this kind of episodic, like deeply narrative storytelling is what drew me in. Great characters that are kind of interesting, and like the Critical Role cast being on board too was very helpful. And also like even the game elements of Dispatch are really fun. Like this kind of strategy that you have to put into thinking of like, which hero am I going to upgrade? Which one am I going to send for this? Oh, well, now these two are over here, so I have to use someone else. This might fail now. Like, it's really fun. And that's a part of it, that as long with making different story choices, you can choose next time, I'm going to build up this hero this way. So I don't know. It's just something that I didn't know I needed. And that is more and more as the years go by, the thing that I find really grabs me is something that surprises me. And yeah, that's why Dispatch is my game of the year.
Did you find going through it a second time, it was drastically different from your first time through?
Sometimes, sometimes it's just a case of like different dialogue in the same scene, but there are also scenes I'm like, I never saw this the first time around. And even just seeing like the choices, like it gives you a rundown of what choices you made at the end compared to other players, and that's been really interesting. But yeah, there are certain gameplay things that are definitely like you have to play it again to see what that other side was like.
That's it. Our game of the year. All the awards have been handed out. Congratulations to Dispatch, Hollow Knight, Silksong, Monster Train 2, Games of the Year. Congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to every single developer, whether you are a one-person team or your team of thousands, for putting out a game. I cannot believe video games are where they are right now, and 2025 has been just an absolute banger year. We're excited to do it again in next year. But before we get out of here, as always, we have the comment corner. Tom, who's been commenting?
Yeah, we got a couple of comments here from some passionate people. So last episode we talked about the Game Awards, basically talking about what we thought about it, and we had a couple of people chiming in just on their thoughts. So at Arcane Smash says here, where was Tokon? Yeah, where was Tokon at the Game Awards?
We needed it on the bingo card.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
they just put out a statement, one of those Twitter statements on weird letterhead saying, it's still coming. Like, we're still forget about us.
Well, I guess we'll wait a bit longer. But yeah, Arcane Smash continues saying, but this year the show was pretty alright, apart from the misstep of closing with High Guard, which I think would have made sense if it followed Apex and going with a big shadow drop instead of releasing within the month. And yeah, like High Guard, I've seen like a lot of people kind of just question mark that, I guess. It does feel like another Concord. Hopefully not. Hopefully it does find a player base, but yeah, it's weird to almost shadow drop it, but it's still like a month out. But we also got a comment here from Brandon Moore, who's fellow writer of the Direct and also from Agents of Fandom, and he chimes in here saying, as a long-time Tomb Raider fan, I'm so excited for you guys to experience Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis and see how fun, fantastical, and yes, bonkers the early Tomb Raider games were. Let's just say the dinosaurs are the tip of the iceberg. So, I mean, if there's more than just dinosaurs, I'm excited. I don't know, but I'm excited. I want to see what this game's about.
Where do you go after dinosaurs? That feels like a logical end step.
I don't know. Yeah,
we're going to hell. I don't know.
Yeah, Tomb Raider, X Doomslayer. Maybe that happens. We'll see. But yeah, so we got those. Thanks for those comments. But we also had a lot of FNAF talk, and I don't want to
just like fans came. They answered our call.
But they were passionate about what we had to say, what other people were saying. So I'll read out just a couple comments on our kind of FNAF 2 coverage. So we got at Gasher the Magician, who says the story made sense and it didn't have any character arcs. It's just like a FNAF movie should be. So I'm happy that that's what you wanted. At Butter Wishes says exactly what people said about the first movie. It's purely for fans. Anyone who watches it and isn't a fan, it's a nonsensical movie. And then I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. I'll say at Zdrav, they chimed in saying, calling it a movie for the fans is an insult. This has got to be the worst movie of the century.
Wow.
So we're throwing down the gauntlet here. And then at Iblis_Demon_Thorn 666 says, well, I don't know. I'm a FNAF fan. I like the first film, but absolutely not the second. So I don't know what's going on in FNAF right now, but we're getting a lot of mixed
It's a fandom
signals,
divided.
I feel like. Yeah, it's really interesting. This is the Last Jedi of FNAF, which is I didn't think I would see today. But thanks for chiming in. Like it's fascinating to see what people actually are thinking of this movie, because like we were kind of saying last week, Lauren and I are largely outsiders to this. We're coming into this. I know some of the lore, but not too well. But I hope 3 is like it lives up to all of everyone's hopes and dreams. That's what I hope. But
or it'll be the Rise of Skywalker of the FNAF franchise.
Tries to please everyone, but ends up pleasing no one.
This week's Comment Corner question of the week and the last one for 2025 is, what is your game of the year? You can let us know in the comment section below here on YouTube or on Spotify podcast services around the globe. Also, over the holidays, please go follow the show. We are at Controller Club Pod on Instagram and Blue Sky, at Controller_Club on Twitter, and at Controller.club on TikTok. Just because we won't be doing any new podcasts for the rest of the year, we are taking a bit of a break coming back in early January, does not mean the Controller Club train comes to a complete stop. We have got some highlights, various things going out on socials over the next couple of weeks. Rate and review us wherever you're listening right now. If you're on YouTube, please ring the bell, thumbs up, leave a comment. It really helps out. Tom, thank you so much for the last year. Thank you so much for the last almost 3.5 years of podcasting. Where can people keep up with you, and what do you have going on in your life over the holiday season?
Yeah, thank you to you guys too. It's crazy that I've kept this thing going this long, but it's so nice that we have this. Yeah, you can find me at Tom Drew Art, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, basically everywhere on the internet. Not really much to shout out. I guess like Klein said, we got a bunch of shorts prepped. They're ready to go. We're going to be posting all of that stuff over the holiday break. So Control Club's not going anywhere necessarily. There also might be something for podcast listeners over the break. I don't want to promise anything, but there might be something in the break. So technically there won't be a break if this happens, but I don't want to promise anything. So just keep an eye out. There might be something. We'll see.
Don't sound so sure, Tom. Jeez Louise, sounded
if you're
confident
good
there.
this year, if you guys are good this year, then Father Christmas will reward you.
Santa Tom will come and leave you a podcast episode under the tree.
Exactly.
Lauren, thank you so much for 2025 and everything that you do for us. Where can people keep up with you, and what do you have going on in your life?
Oh, no. Thank you to you as well. Like, I was thinking we all saw each other more times than ever this year in person, I think. It was a huge deal last year when we all met in London, but I've now seen both of you separate times this year, which is great. Gives me something to look forward to. But anyway, you can follow me at lrouse19 on the socials, Blue Sky, Twitter, TikTok. I have some clips posting recently from old interviews if anyone's interested, including one from Fallout. But I'll probably be detoxing from the internet over the next little while because I'm going home to Australia. And we'll be back in 3 time zones, I guess, which is going to be interesting. But yeah, that's what's going on with me.
Great. And you can keep up with me everywhere. I'm at the Kleinfeld, TheKleinFelt. That's going to do it for this episode of Controller Club and another year of the podcast. As we said, we are taking 2 weeks off. The next podcast will be posting sometime around January 4th or 5th. Not 100% locked down on that, but we are taking 2 weeks off. So enjoy the holiday season, play some games, hang out with family, eat a cookie or two. It's the best time of the year. Thank you so much for listening and watching as always. Now, let's get gaming.